Sometimes WWE superstars just aren't in the mood for nonsense, and when an interviewer crosses the line, things can go off the rails fast. Like the time a reporter thought they could get away with a disrespectful remark, only to be met with a reaction that made it clear they messed with the wrong superstar.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh?
Back in December 1984, wrestling fans at Madison Square Garden got to witness an absolutely unforgettable moment. Behind the scenes, as the WWF was gearing up for another big event, reporter John Stossel was on a mission. He wanted to dig deep and expose what really went on behind the curtain in the world of wrestling.
What? Is this a good business? Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't.
Why is it a good business?
Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk holding the camera reading he ain't in it. Reading these rednecks out here ain't in it. Because it's a tough business.
That's terrific.
What, is that all you got?
During his investigation, he walked up to David Dr. D. Schultz and straight up said, "I think it's fake."
I'll ask you the standard question. You know?
Standard question.
I think this is fake.
Schultz, never one to back down, responded with 2 brutal slaps right across Stossel's face, knocking him to the ground. Then, just to drive the point home, he looked down and asked, "Still think it's fake?"
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake? You talk like that.
The shocking incident instantly became a media sensation. Stossel later claimed the slaps left him with ear pain and ringing that lasted for weeks. Not one to let it slide, he ended up suing the WWE over the whole thing.
Crooks and people who are fakers, and the one time I get hit is confronting someone where it's obvious that it's fake.
In the end, the whole thing was settled out of court for a whopping $425,000, making it one of the most expensive incidents in wrestling history.
He talks and has lost his job because of it, because he's mad. He feels these wrestlers work hard and get very little from these promoters.
Schultz later claimed that management told him to stay in character, but that excuse didn't save him. He ended up getting suspended and eventually fired, effectively ending his wrestling career. While some wrestlers see their careers cut short due to controversy, others, like CM Punk, have made controversy their calling card.
Off the camera is 100% different than when it is when you know you're being recorded and you're interviewing me.
In a recent incident, CM Punk didn't hold back when he called out Michael Landsberg for what he saw as two-faced behavior during a live interview. Right there on air, Punk stayed true to his unfiltered self, taking shots at the interviewer for what he believed was a lack of integrity, making for an unforgettable TV moment.
So I'm interested in that because I've never heard that before. What is my...
Punk kicked things off by calling out Landsberg's conflicting behavior, noting how he acted friendly off camera, but the moment the camera started rolling, he switched to a defensive and arrogant persona.
Well, and I understand that. That's cool. You asked me off camera if we saw each other at UFC 182.
Punk didn't hold back. He revealed that off camera, Landsberg had asked for a favor to get big leagued at a UFC event. Using that as ammo, Punk mocked Landsberg's on-camera persona, sarcastically praising it as a gimmick and calling out how he constantly tried to control the conversation.
I appreciate that.
No, you don't appreciate that.
I like your gimmick, kid.
Punk wasn't about to play nice or put up with phony interactions, even in a public setting. His bold, unapologetic responses completely shifted the power dynamic of the interview, reinforcing his image as a no-nonsense guy who demands people be straight with him. No BS allowed. Undertaker.
If it is acting, we'd take a normal man and break him in half. You know, that's such an unoriginal question for someone to ask.
In a now legendary appearance on Good Morning Kuwait, the host boldly asked, "Is wrestling real, or are you just pretending?"
Can I ask you, just this, in Kuwait here, I mean, I'm sure you heard this before, that they say this wrestling is not for real. Is it like you act, or...
Safe to say things didn't go smoothly after that. But The Undertaker, always the master of staying in character, kept his cool and handled the question like a pro.
You know, and it's so easy for people to pass judgment and make all these questions about what wrestling is.
Instead of losing his temper, The Undertaker calmly explained the physicality and effort that wrestlers put into their performances, making it clear that what they do is far from fake.
Wrestling is one of the finest athletic endeavors that you will ever see. Not only do you get the best of athletics, but you get people who can actually sell tickets by just their character alone.
He went on to break it down, explaining just how much energy, skill, hard work, and sheer force it takes to step inside a wrestling ring and perform at that level.
When I go to the ring, my creatures of the night, they don't care what it is. But let me assure you, it's the most physical thing that you would ever do in your life.
How real and life-threatening the impact can be on the wrestlers. Vince McMahon. As a leader, Vince McMahon is no stranger to setting a bold, confrontational tone, and that influence may very well have shaped how wrestlers interact with reporters.
You know, and the NFL is where they are now, more power to them. I think they do some things wrong that we do right. And I think that it's going to take a little time to build our brand.
In 2001, during an interview with Bob Costas on the Record on HBO, things got heated fast.
Can you guarantee me right now that there will be a year 2 for the XFL?
Can I guarantee you that? I can't guarantee you that I'm going to be breathing in and breathing out after we leave this studio.
Things heated up when Costas brought up the declining viewership of McMahon's XFL and raised concerns about safety in the WWE.
Have you pulled back on the level of risk in some of these maneuvers?
As far as anything aerial, absolutely. You know, we would never attempt to do anything like we were doing with Owen again.
Costas repeatedly interrupted McMahon.
Objective people.
And why would they wish me ill? Tell me, why did they want to wish me ill?
The show's only an hour long.
McMahon wasn't having it. As the tension hit a boiling point, he stood up, got in Costas's face, and bluntly told him to shut his mouth so he could continue.
You want to let me finish here for a second, pal? Shut your mouth and let me answer the question, all right? I'll be happy to answer.
Years later, McMahon looked back on the moment in Jim Miller's book, Tinderbox, The Ruthless Pursuit of New Frontiers. He admitted that if Costas had been 6'5" and 295 pounds, instead of 5'7" and 140 pounds, he might have escalated things into a full-blown physical confrontation, turning the whole exchange into must-see TV.
This is the Bob Costas Interrupt program, right?
It's a characterization I think few would share, but it might work for you in this instance.
It worked for me, I mean.
Despite the heated exchange, McMahon later sat down for more interviews with Costas, proving that, if nothing else, he wasn't one to shy away from confrontation.
So my question to you is, if you've got to get what you call the right announcers in there, what's your talent pool for that?
We'll have to create talent. Talent's out there. You have to go find it.
Those later interviews showed McMahon's true mindset. He always put business first, no matter who he was up against. Grayson Waller. Remember that wild moment in January 2024 when Grayson Waller and LA Knight popped up on Australia's Sunrise Morning Show? They were there to hype up the Elimination Chamber event in Perth. And at first, it was just your typical promo. But then, Waller took things in a whole new direction in the best way possible. Here's what went down. The host, Natalie Barr, thought it'd be fun to have the guys show off some of their signature wrestling moves, even suggesting they try it on a crew member. Yep, she really went there.
Can you give us one of your signature finishing moves?
Can I give you one?
Yeah, can you, like, not me,
I'll just be over here.
but can you show us?
And if you know anything about Grayson Waller, you already know he wasn't about to let that slide. When the floor manager stepped up, playfully throwing some mock punches like it was all a big joke, Waller snapped back with,
I don't think you understand. Like, if I come over there right now, we're going to have the police here because I'm not going to give you some fake punch. Like, I'm going to punch you straight in the jaw.
boom, mic drop. The look on the hosts' faces? Pure shock. And the internet ate it up. The clip exploded online, racking up over 1.5 million views in no time.
The disrespect that you have even talking to me. No, you want to talk to me like this ain't real? I got no, don't act all tough, lad. Don't act all tough. Like,
get in the middle of this. You kick back. You kick back. Get him out of there. You get out of there. You get it. I'm so sorry. No, don't make too mad.
Afterward, Waller did some interviews to clear things up, and it was obvious. This wasn't just some publicity stunt. He made it crystal clear he's sick of people disrespecting wrestling and treating it like some cheap circus act. He laid it down, no apologies. Waller wasn't actually planning on decking anyone. It was about sending a message. And honestly, it worked. The host looked terrified when the cameras stopped rolling, and people talked about this for days.
I hate when people disrespect what we do and treat it as a joke. You know wrestling enough that we can sit here and have a conversation. You understand what I've gone through. you understand what you've gone through. It's a good conversation. But sometimes when you do these morning TV, they're doing 16 interviews a day. Yeah. They don't know who anyone is. Like, I understand why it happened.
This whole moment shined a light on the ongoing struggle wrestlers face when it comes to being taken seriously by mainstream media. Waller's reaction might have been intense, but for many fans and wrestlers, it was exactly what needed to happen to drive the point home. Respect the sport. Respect the wrestlers. Hulk Hogan.
Okay, joining us is the World Wrestling Federation champion, the cause of Hulkmania, Mr. Hulk Hogan.
In 1985, while promoting the very first WrestleMania event for WWF, Hulk Hogan was invited to appear on a talk show called Hot Properties, with comedian Richard at the helm.
I believe you.
Can you dig it?
I can
Are
dig
you
it.
a man?
I can dig it twice.
One of the weirdest moments in the interview happened when Richard Belzer just wouldn't let up. He kept pushing Hulk Hogan to show off some real wrestling moves.
All right, we're going to show you some moves.
Come on.
Elementary.
We're going to show you some over here.
Finally, Hogan gave in and slapped on a front chin lock, but that turned out to be a big mistake. Within seconds, Belzer passed out cold and collapsed hard onto the studio floor.
You can apply, nice and easy if you bend over.
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Belzer's head hit the floor hard, leaving the live audience stunned. As he lay there unconscious, Hogan frantically tried to wake him up with a few light slaps. Meanwhile, Mr. T, who was also on the show, tried to smooth things over, casually saying, "He's just sleeping."
He's all right. He's just sleeping. He's sleeping. Really, I was a sleeper hole. He'll be all right.
When Belzer finally came to, looking dazed and confused, he quickly wrapped up the segment and cut to a break. He didn't return to the show that day. The fall left him with a head injury requiring 9 stitches, though he later exaggerated that number to 100 stitches in public. Not surprisingly, Belzer sued Hogan, Mr. T, Vince McMahon, and WWE, seeking $5 million in damages. The case never went to trial and was settled in 1990 for $400,000, and in the most Belzer move ever, he used the settlement money to buy a house in France, which he cheekily named Shea Hogan, as a not-so-subtle nod to the incident that paid for it. Austin Theory.
Yo, bring me all the way here for some media, man. This guy's his head off, man. It's his problem, dude.
Austin Theory got into a real heated argument with Anthony Desley, who's the editor-in-chief at the West Australian, back in February 2024. This all went down while he was doing promo work for the Elimination Chamber event happening in Perth, Australia. Anthony Desley kicked off the whole thing by asking if wrestling was actually real, saying it looked pretty fake compared to sports like rugby and Aussie rules footy.
What'd you just say?
I mean, it's fake. Like,
What do you mean? What are you
hitting each other?
Hold on.
You brought me here. You can talk to me however you want, Austin Theory shot back.
Hold on a second. You brought me here and you're gonna talk to me like this?
Yeah,
Hey, no, man.
Austin Theory hit back, telling the interviewer he was in the wrong position to be dismissive and that he was disrespecting all the physical work that goes into wrestling.
Some shit here, man. Don't mean you can talk to me like this.
I didn't mean to offend you.
He passionately defended his craft, saying, "You're trying to tell me that what I do is easy. I didn't walk a damn day in your shoes."
How are you saying what I do is easy and you're in front of all your people in here talking about my job's easy?
He threatened to take physical action, telling the viewers, "I'm going to smack the shoot out of you right now. I'm not playing around."
You couldn't walk a damn day in my shoes. Got me in here. Dude, are you kidding me, man? I'll smack the shit out of you right now. I'm not playing around.
The situation escalated and became physical before security finally got there. There you have it. Proof that pushing the wrong buttons on a WWE superstar can get you a front row ticket to Painville. So the next time you see a superstar getting interviewed, just remember, choose your words very carefully, unless you want to be the next viral clip of a wrestler flipping out. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.